We're going to walk you through the installation of your oil separator for your C8 Z06 Coupe. Including the J&L kit is a fully assembled oil separator with quick connect fittings, a mounting bracket, mounting screws, and a mounting bolt. The tools you'll need for installation is a 10mm wrench and a Phillips head screwdriver. Let's get started. Our first step here, we need to locate our factory PCV line. If you have a cover installed in this area, you'll need to remove that cover to get access to this. But this line is right here. Going to this PCV box, and then it goes and connects to the intake manifold. Now the one on the manifold, the push button is actually on the bottom to release it. So you have to press up on it, and you got to press up on it pretty hard and pull that off. I will tell you, I've already had this line off once. It was very, very tight to get off, like much tighter than these lines typically are. So push up, you can hear that thing unclip, and you're going to pull that off, and I'm going to pull it all the way off that fitting because that's going to allow this other hose to relax, this other connection. And then this one you have to push from the top. When I did it initially, I actually had to push it with a screwdriver because it was just so stuck. You can see my little mark from my flathead. So I'm going to see if it'll just remove the old-fashioned way, which is just a push button release, very easy. And if not, we'll push it with a screwdriver. So let me get you set up here. And just, you know, careful, a lot of sharp things in here. This is razor sharp over here. So just try not to fillet your hand open. You might want to put a glove on. So there we go. So all these do, these just push in to release, but they're just a little, kind of a little goofy comparatively to previous years in their release. So this one, you can see it's kind of got an edge on it. That's probably what our holdup is. So just a little manufacturing booger. So just be patient, it will come off, and we're not reusing this. So now we're going to go ahead and get our J&L assembly into place. But what I'm going to do first, because this car does have the painted manifold on it and some carbon fiber bits, I'm going to lay a rag down over that, just so if my can's dragging across it, it doesn't scratch it. And then we're going to grab our assembly. You'll see these hoses have a natural curvature. We want to use that to our advantage. If for whatever reason your hose is facing the other way, these all move. We know our fittings need to be facing towards the engine, so you can preset some of these, but they are accessible back here once we get it installed. But what we want to do is feed our hoses into place, which we're going to go in between this intake manifold and this bar going across to get these hoses started. See the one there? We're going to grab that and just pull it forward, and we're going to do the same for the other hose. Just grab it. So once that's fed through, we'll get our can mounted and we'll make our connections in just a few minutes. We're going to work on getting our mounting bracket. So I'm just going to sit this can in the middle of the manifold for now. Our mounting bracket is going to go off this pre-existing hole. This hole is already threaded for an M6 by 1.0 bolt. Our bracket's going to go into place like so. So just again, given the tight area, I'm going to do this first and then mount the can to the oil separator. You could probably mount the bracket here, but the more things you're fumbling with or laying over this giant fender, the more likely you are to drop something. So I just want some space. So get this started by hand. It's going to go in nice and smooth. This bolt is serrated, so it's going to bite into our bracket nice once you snug this up. And what you can do is get that nice and square, take a wrench, go ahead and just tighten this up. It doesn't have to be crazy tight. I just want it enough that when you push on the bracket, it doesn't want to pivot. This is a plastic manifold, so just use some common sense. tight you make that. Now we're going to get our oil separator into place. You're going to see the two J&L logos. Those are going to be facing the same direction. Okay, so we're going to push, kind of feed the two hoses between the bracket, and we'll get a screw started here. We'll have to twist this into place. You might want to pull some of your hose. And start these by hand, just so you don't cross thread them. They should start nice and easy. So that's one. Don't tighten that up yet until you get the second one in. That's two. I'm going to go and snug these up. That gets our bracket and can mounted. And you could double check your alignment to see if this is off canter. You can always loosen up your bolt here if you need to, and move it just with a wrench. Now we just need to make our hose connection. So we have two hoses here. This hose is going to the O side. This is going to plug onto our intake manifold. So we just want to make that a nice loose connection. Again, if the fitting's facing the wrong way, these move. All right, so, and ours are similar to OEM. They have a push button release, but I will tell you ours are very easy to remove. So we're just going to push this right onto the manifold. You'll hear it click. And then this other connection here that's going to go to the PCV box, we're going to tuck that around the back of the PCV box, which I'll show you here in a second, and plug it onto the connection, and you hear that snapped into place. So see how that hose is going around the back side of the box. So that's going to keep it a nice gradual bend down to that box. And primary thing is we want to keep this away from this very, 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 very hot exhaust. Look at all the heat wrap on all of this stuff in the engine bay. So when choosing this mounting location, we specifically chose it for the hose routing to come around the front of the motor to stay away from the exhaust. So just for safety. So yeah, we could put heat wrap on it and whatnot, but you still have rubber hose that's got oil in it running directly over a catalytic converter that could be 1,000 degrees, and obviously these manifolds. So obviously limited options here in the engine bay, but we got a can that's easy to service, easy to run hoses to, easy to install, and first and foremost easy to live with. So we're going to double check all our hoses here, and you can play with twisting this hose. See how that pushes the hose up or down. So you can push that nice right behind that manifold. Okay, and then again, our connections, you see this says push on it. You literally just push the button and it'll pop right off like that. Same on the intake side. Push button. So if you add to your cover, you'll want to reinstall your cover. But other than that, that completes your installation. Easy install on your C8Z06. Get some protection, keep those valves from gumming up. What we suggest you do is check your oil separator after 500 miles of driving. That'll give you an idea of how quickly yours is accumulating in the reservoir. The reservoir holds 3 ounces of fluid, and most of these LT based motors are typically about an ounce or so every 1,000 miles. I will tell you, if you track the car or something, it's gonna fill much faster than that in extreme driving conditions. So if you are tracking it, I would probably check it between sessions until you get a good baseline of how quickly it's gonna fill the can. Hang on to your factory line in case you ever want to return to stock. But other than that, you are good to go. Give us a call if you have any questions, and we'll see you on the next one.